I'm back. It's Angelique, Nostalgics on Instagram. What's this video about? It's another edit with me, surprise! It's for my red, white, and royal blue edit that I just posted like, I don't know, 3 or 4 days ago? I don't know what day it is today. It's fine, it's all fine. But yeah, I used Pinterest for the first time. Like really used it, you know, and it was weird and difficult. So all of the footage of me like actually going onto Google and using Pinterest is gone because that was obnoxious in like half of the process. This video would be at least 30 minutes long if I left it. So yeah, it's fine. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's go. So first up, I'm just here organizing like always, you know. I've got to start off by putting the scenes and whatever in their place because I don't know what I'm doing at the beginning. It's fine, especially in this edit. It took quite a bit of effort, you know. So here I'm just cutting out and starting off the panels. It was kind of hard to like do. This edit was pretty hard to do. First off, I procrastinated and did it very last minute. So you know, but it's also a book edit, something I rarely ever, if I have ever done. So it was awkward and difficult to do, especially trying to like fan cast, something I've never done except like once, and it was another one of Gab's collabs. So, but it's fine. Anyway, okay, so yeah, so I'm just doing the panels like always. This one was fun a little too, you know. It was difficult because I wanted to make it like the door was more extended. It didn't end up looking that way, but it's fine. Yeah, I could have just like drawn in the black and stuff so it would just, and then blend it out, but I was dumb and forgot how to do things like that. So I'm just like struggling. This is like 20 minutes of me struggling, reduced to like 2 minutes. So yeah, it's just me. That's so ridiculous. Like, why did I just not, I could have just painted it. I figured out how to like, you know, do this correctly after I was like almost done with it. So it was like, wait, but it's fine. So yeah, I'm just trying to deal with that. See, yeah, whatever, it's fine, I don't care. It was just so much time spent into it, but it's fine. Anyway, it's done. It's good, and then I was like trying to blend it in, make it look good, and then adding more of the door. I don't know. No, it was to make him look smaller, so it would be more of a little detail, and you know, cute. This one, I completely threw away the, I guess that's a museum or like Washington type place. But I don't know. And I was trying to blend them together, but then I said like, no, I can't. So I just left it like that, and it would serve as like a parallel between the 2 white panels, which it did. It ended up working, so that was good. This one, the 2 black panels, I really liked. They were just so simple, so minimalist, but at the same time had, you know, that, I don't know, it was nice. I liked it. Honestly, I just looked up like crown prince and found this picture, and I was like, that works. And like got a random guy that was you know, white, and it was like, okay, cool, this works. But yeah, Prince Henry was easier to fan cast than Alex because yeah, I just don't know how to fan cast in general. It was difficult, but it was fun at the end. Just procrastinating wasn't the best idea for this one. And here I'm just, again, always with my cutouts because it's the easiest thing to do and fastest. At least for me personally. And yeah, I'm just going around. His foot looked so big the way I cut it out there. And yeah, so I'm just like trying to get it centered and was like, there's something missing, but I don't want to add a texture. So I just copied them, in a second you'll see here, and made it like the background and stuff. And it's like nice. this one went through so much. It was complicated to get to the final panel. Here's Alex's panel. Ah, he's so cute. I mean, book Alex. This Alex, I don't know him. Anyway, there were so many people, I just couldn't pin down who I'd put him in as. And I mean, it ended up looking fine. It was just complicated. Like this guy, I was gonna use the same guy for the background and the front, and I was like, no, need more complexity. And so I did that, and I was like, no, I don't like this guy. I mean, he looks fine. This one, I guess, looks better. But yeah, but I like the vibe. Oh my god, I tried to add glasses because Alex wears glasses. I mean, not in public, but he does. But I failed, so those didn't exist. Like, you didn't see that. I don't know what you're talking about. Glasses? No. It's fine. But yeah, it was complicated. Oh, and here I wanted to do like more of a symbolism type panel where there were like a bunch of symbols, like the key that Alex wears around his neck and his glasses and the crown, because you know, Prince Henry is a prince. You know, the basics, you know, it's the genius of the complexity of my thoughts that go into my edits is just astronomical. I'm doing fine. But yeah, so here I'm just masking the crown, and that was fun. That was nice. Turned out cute. Also, slight spoilers maybe for the book. Honestly, I won't say much about the actual content. Like, this is like pretty obvious stuff from the cover, I think, too. So like, there's no really big spoilers. You'll be fine. Except if the quotes aren't very telling unless they're not in context. So like, you'll be fine. You can read the book. This won't spoil it for you. But yeah, so like, I put the panels specifically in the specific order of the colors. That was complicated to do initially because colors need not great. It takes me a while. I wanted to do it like red, white, and royal blue, and I think it turned out pretty good. This text, I love this text. It's so nice. I love playing around with text. Honestly, my favorite part of editing probably is playing around with text. And since they're like parallel panels, you know, I just copied the text and like adjusted it and changed it around a bit so it's not completely identical. And yeah, just played around with it a little bit until I like was happy with it, which took a bit. But yeah, it ended up looking pretty good. Look at that, looking so cute. Here, this one, I feel like I could have done better with the text for this one. Like, I did fine with the others, but this one just, I needed to make the quote stand out, because this quote is very, very symbolic of the book in general. It's, I won't like read it or anything, and like, if you can read it, it's, just don't. It's, but yeah, it's very symbolic, and I was like, I can't do anything crazy with it, because I'm able to do it, not because I don't want to. I would have loved to, but I just couldn't. So I just left it really simple, which makes me sad. But yeah. Oh yeah, so I added the ring, because the prince has a ring. There's nothing else about that. Anyway. Yeah, just adding details and taking forever to like adjust this to make it, you know, perfect, because I can't leave anything alone for 5 minutes without seeing an imperfection. Great. Love that. It's fine. But yeah, so like I'm just trying to get it, you know, to look all the same, black and white, and to like increase and decrease the contrast and stuff, so it doesn't look weird, I don't know, and changing the size so they all look proportional and Here, this one took me a while to get the color right, and even by the end it was iffy. But it's fine. It looked nice-ish. But yeah, this one's just cute. It's not great. It's cute. So like, I'm just continuing with the panels and just fixing them up. Here, changing the color, because again, indecisive as heck, and adding quotes here and there to add more of the, pizzazz, more details. I really like small text because it makes it look like a detail. I don't know. But yeah, I wanted to add that like photograph type thing to make it seem like, oh, it's a memory or something like that, but it just didn't fit in. I was like, nope. And the color didn't suit it either, so I'm gonna be changing it in like 2 seconds. Yeah, this panel ended up looking cute. It could have turned out better still, but it's fine. Yeah, I tried to do so many things to it, but failed. If I had left it like this smallish or whatever, it could have paralleled with the top middle panel, but I didn't think of that at the moment. And I wasn't gonna like it either way, so we're left with what we had in the edit at the end. It ended up looking cute, but it just took me a bit. I mean, this looks nice, but it doesn't completely fit in, and I specifically didn't want the texture, the paper texture right next to the other like starry or like grainy texture, so I was like, nah, I'm just gonna leave it big and just leave it at that. And yeah, it's fine. So here I'm just adding another quote, adding for more detail and fill in the panel, then quote, and yeah, it's looking cute. I was really doing this like as quickly as I could do it, and yeah, if I'd taken a few more hours and like slept on it, I probably would have done a better job. Like, this could have been better, but I'm happy with it because it didn't suck, it's fine. Again, see, I'm just too indecisive, especially with the colors, and it ended up looking fine. It was just took a second to get there. And I think that's, oh right, yeah, the text for the last two. I like how this one turned out. It could have been better, but no, don't spill. Okay. But yeah, so I'm just adding the text there. And yeah, it looked nice by the end. I had initially wanted to add the text in that black space anyway. That's why I did make it longer, so I could fit in some text in there. Yeah, it ended up looking cute. This one I liked. I always love to add like little quotation marks. It took me a second to get them, and it's whatever. I like to add quotation marks. I just don't do it often because I forget that I can do it. And I usually don't make like quotes this prominent, but since this is a book edit, I had to add a lot of quotes and like highlight the fact that they're quotes. I could have made it a little less light, like I could have made it a little darker, but it's fine. Here again, adding the last few details and like the text, and I was like, this is missing something, and did that and was like, no, not that. So I just got another texture. This one's actually one of the textures I used for my Lucifer edit. No one will recognize that, but it's fine. I didn't. It's fine. It's a really nice texture. And it looked okay, but I lowered the opacity a little bit more because I wanted it to be really just barely there. And yeah, so I'm adding the last few quotes and finishing it up. Again, this one was missing something, so as I said before, I had to add back the box because he was just standing on midair, and I was like, no. So I just copied and pasted them two, then made it as a background, and it looked nice like that. watermarked it and saved it, and we were done. But yeah, that's it. That's how that edit went. I'm quite proud with the result of it. Oh god, stop. Please don't die. We're good. I'm quite proud of the result. I know I could have done better, like design-wise and maybe color-wise too. But given the time I gave myself and the few resources I knew where to get stuff from, I think I did pretty well. And I think I pulled it off just barely by the end by adding all the text and the details like that, which is usually what happens in most of my edits. So it's fine. It's fine. And yeah, I liked it. And I'm glad you guys liked it. It got to like 300 likes yesterday or something, which was nice. It was really nice. I was really glad that you guys liked it so much. Because I didn't expect a book edit to do that well, especially on my page. Because I don't do that, you know? But it's great that it did do well and that it's still doing well. So thank you for that. And what else is there to say? Oh, posted a question box in Instagram. When am I posting this? Monday. What's today? Saturday. There we go. I can do math. I posted a question box about 3 or 4 days ago asking what like specific tutorials you guys wanted to see. Maybe a panel or like specific technique or like anything, honestly. And you guys responded to a bunch of things and I'm really excited because a lot of them are really interesting and I will be doing many of them. Like one of them was like text techniques and like placement of text and fonts and stuff like that. And I'm definitely going to do one of that because as you saw, I love text and playing around with text. I literally said that, I think. So I'm definitely going to go into that maybe for the next video or the one after that. It'll be great. If you have any other like tutorial type things you want to see soon, comment down below. You know what to do. So yeah, that's all I got. Turn on the notifications, like and subscribe. I don't know where the buttons are. It's fine. I'll see you in here. I'll see you on Instagram. And bye. Ignore me. I'm just admiring my background. It looks beautiful. So yeah. That's it. Yeah, I get. Bye.